I was rushing back down here. I lost track of time for a second. I'm babysitting my son's dog, and it started snowing a couple hours ago, and he loves to be outside, even in the snow. He does not care. Oh, my goodness. Of course, it's really windy, and now my hair's just a mess. Anywho, so the dog loves the snow, but I feel bad if he's just sitting out there. But I mean, he totally has access to our garage if he wants it. So I wanted to go up and quickly check on him and see what was going on. And I saw him sitting outside the garage in the snow. And I thought to myself, I didn't know if maybe his like cord that he's hooked up to, if it got stuck, because we got him on this like 30-foot cord and he can run around, whatever. And sometimes it gets stuck. And I thought, well, did he get stuck? No, he's just sitting out in the snow. So I thought, okay, if you want to sit out in the snow, then I'm not going to stop you. So I'll let him in after we're done here. So one time, one of you guys in the comments asked me to share to show the dog, but I can't because he's not in here, and the pictures are on my phone, which I'm using to do this live, so I can't show you a picture. I'll try to. I should post some pictures of him maybe on my like business page or something like that because he is adorable. He was really cute when he was little, which of course all puppies are. But now he's just the sweetest thing, and I love him. He's big, but I still love him. So anyways, we are babysitting him. And I have to ask you guys something. This is a question that I have. I'm looking at your comments and I see like Lisa, for instance. It says at Lisa Marcelino 8837. Is like YouTube randomly giving everybody a 4-digit number after their name all of a sudden? Are you guys seeing that? I see a lot of you guys, like Cheryl is on here, and I see Cheryl's is the same. She's got a number after her name, and Kathy and Trish. Does anybody know what's going on? Yeah, I don't understand what that is. I noticed that last night when Kelly, Dina, and I were doing our Stampappy party. I noticed that there were like people's names or partial names and then like a 4-digit number. And I was like, what is that? The names were all switched. Oh my God, I don't understand. It's weird. Oh, Tony said it. Oh, because Tony's is the same way. So YouTube did it. So YouTube switched it. That is kind of weird. I'll have to go and comment on somebody's video and see if I have a different name now instead of my normal name. Interesting. I wonder why they did that. Oh, because I'm noticing everybody's is like that. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. I hate it when stuff like that happens and nobody tells you. You know what I mean? Like things just change and you're just like, what's happening? I didn't know this was going on. I guess maybe it's just not my business, right? A lot of you are saying you have no idea what happened, and Tony just said it switched. And yeah, if anybody happens to really like know why, like what the reasoning is, that would be interesting to know. Like, I wonder, is there like too many Lisa Marcelinos on here? You know what I'm saying? And so they had to give you all numbers or something like that. Yeah, very strange. Anyway, I digress. So we're babysitting a dog for a few days. I think my son's going to be back. He's got to go out of town tomorrow with his boss. So he dropped the dog off this morning because he lives like 45 minutes from us. So I mean, it would be very difficult for him to bring the dog here in the morning before him and his boss had to leave for out of town. So he brought him over this morning before he went to work so we could play with him a little bit. Because I like him to be a little bit tired when he's here, because then he sleeps at night. If he's like not too tired, then he likes to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go outside and play. And I was like, that's not happening here. We don't get out. We don't get up at 4 o'clock. So anyways, let's see. Pat says she noticed it a few weeks ago, but she does think her number is always the same. Oh, that's good to know too. Okay, interesting. That is very interesting. All right. What else is going on around here? There really is not a whole lot going on around here, which I said I always knock because that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Oh, I forgot to get my, this is just one of those crazy days where I felt like I was busy all day, but I didn't get anything done, and I broke a nail, which is bugging me. I should have filed it anyway. Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot done, even though I felt like I was busy all day. And then I just feel, I don't know, do you ever feel like nothing's going on, but you just sort of feel like you're in a funk? That's kind of how I feel today. Yeah, and Sharon doesn't have a number. So what is going on? Yeah, I don't know. So I'm just kind of in a funk today. So which of course, this is every time I'm live, there's a bunch of nonsense. But if there's more nonsense than usual, then you'll know. It's just because I'm in a little bit of a funk and I don't know why. But we're going to still have fun because even though I'm in a funk, we're still going to have a good time, right? Oh, Kathy says that name appears after your name in YouTube because of YouTube handles, a system to make every user unique if your chosen name was taken. Yeah, but if you already had your name, Kathy, why are they randomly adding numbers to the back of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so like Pat already had her name Pat Green on here, but now all of a sudden Pat Green has a number. Is that so there could be more Pat Greens? Maybe that's what it is. Very interesting. Well, then the number appears after your name and because system to make every user if your chosen name was taken. Automatically creates public identifier for live chat and comments, preventing spam and confusion. Well, I'm all about preventing spam and confusion, so there you go. Okay. Lisa says there are a lot of Lisa Marcelinos. Okay, so if you are another one of the Lisa Marcelinos, you could actually keep your name. So just because you maybe had it first, if there's another Lisa Marcelino that wants to come on and make a YouTube account, she can still have her name, and then she would just have numbers after it. I'll have to see. If you don't claim your handle, what do you say? Kathy says, if you didn't claim your handle, oh, now I got something popped up here. If you didn't claim your handle or your desired one was taken, YouTube added random numbers to make it unique. Okay. And Noreen said, I wonder if it has to do with scammers. According to Kathy, yes. Okay. I'll have to see, because I think mine's like Barb stamps or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't even know. I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll have to see how that works out. If I have a number after mine. I don't know. And I wonder if maybe I won't, like if I wouldn't get a number just because like I have a YouTube account, like I'm like into the YouTube because I have the creator studio and everything. I mean, who knows? Kathy said it's AI info. Yeah, I'm not surprised that AI is going to be the death of all of us. Oh, did I say that out loud? I think I did. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah, and then Dolly's wanting to know why Cheryl's under her husband. Who knows? Who knows? Cheryl, by the way, now that I'm thinking about it, you're not in the Facebook group for the launch party. I sent out an email a few days ago for everybody that wasn't in the group yet, and you were one of those people. So please, please join the group. Check that email and click the link and get into the group. Okay, we want to see you in there. Okay. I think that's all. Kathy has enlightened all of us. Thank you very much, Kathy. I appreciate your knowledge. And I guess we will go on. So I am going to flip the camera and then we'll get started. Get my glasses on and flip my hair back, all that stuff. And then we'll start the show. All right. I had my camera. I had to do it a different way last night because when we do the streaming thing, it's just different. Everything's different. And there you go. And I also discovered that with StreamYard, we can't have closed captions. And so people that are hard of hearing can't really follow along with us until the next day when YouTube adds the closed captions. So super sorry about that. Okay. Joan says, I'm feeling, maybe Joan, are you talking about yourself, Joan? You're feeling down, so maybe you should create. I do find that is pretty helpful when I start, making fun, pretty things. That does get me out of a funk. So we're going to get out of that funk today, or right now. Ooh, Trish said she is looking forward to bingo tomorrow night. Yes. Those of you that have purchased a make and take packet for the launch party, we will be playing bingo tomorrow night for prizes. I'm filing my nail. I'm sorry. That's pretty rude, but it's just really, really bugging the heck out of me. Okay. All right. Let's pull some papers out here and see what we got. Okay, bonus days started last week, goes through February 2nd. For every $50 you order, you will earn a $5 coupon code that Stamp It Up will send to your email that you placed your order under. And you can collect those all month long. And then next month you can redeem them, and you can redeem as many as you want on an order. There's no limit to how many you can redeem. And you also earn your Stampin' Rewards. So for every $50 you spend in January, you're actually getting 20% back because you're getting $5 in Stampin' Rewards, and you're also getting $5 coupon code. So it's a really, really great time to be shopping right now. I kind of equate it to, we used to have Celebration, and I understand that it's gone, and some of you are a little bit upset about that. But honestly, I would kind of rather buy whatever I want. You know what I mean? I mean, I loved Celebration, don't get me wrong, but it got to the point where, because I would place multiple orders throughout the month, but I didn't need, five of this stamp set or 10 packs of paper. So I appreciate that I am earning, $10 basically every time I place a $50 order, and that next month I can buy whatever I want. And spoiler alert, we're going to be able to pre-order for the next collection of online exclusives as demonstrators coming up later on this month. And so I'm just going to wait until February 3rd, and I'm going to get new stuff with my coupon codes. So that's pretty exciting. So if you join Stampin' Up! Now, you could join my team now in January. And then in February, you can get whatever coupon code you earn in January, then you can buy new things. So it's very exciting. So anyways, I think this is great. I'm super excited about it, and I'm stoked. I usually always would stock up during Celebration on my cardstock, adhesive, envelopes, ink refills, things like that, because, why wouldn't you? You're getting free stuff? But I'm even going a little bit more ham this time because I'm actually earning like money, like cash back. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay. We have 3 new kits this month. We have the Lots to Love kit and the Adopt a Pet kit. And the Adopt a Pet kit, so cute. I think kids would go gaga over this. These 2 kits are no stamping kits, so they're only $15, which is really inexpensive. And then we have the Butterfly Garden kit, which is a stamping kit, so it is a little bit more. It's $24. But these are the 3 new kits that were launched in January, and I think you should check them out. I did order myself this one. I think it's going to be here sometime. It might be out on my porch, actually. I should have gone out there and looked. Okay. Our new product launch party, we talked a little bit about that. Tomorrow night is bingo. So if you have purchased a make and take packet for the party, you will be able to play bingo with us tomorrow night. If you don't purchase the make and take packet, you can still watch the bingo and you can participate in the chat and whatnot, which is always a good time when Dina, Kelly, and I are together doing anything. So those of you that were on last night can attest to that. We had a little funny mishap where I froze, and I didn't think that I was frozen, and they couldn't hear me, and I was holding up a help sign, and it was hilarious. Anyway, so the links to get into the launch party or to purchase the make and take packet are in the description of this video, and you can check those links there. Let's see. Laura says, "Is there an end date to the monthly $5 item?" I don't know exactly what you're wanting to know, Laura, but are we there yet? Product of the month. Let me pull it up. Did I not print that off for this month? Oh, I did. Here we go. So product of the month is a thing that happens. It's a new thing. So every month Stampin' Up! Comes out with a new product of the month, and you can purchase it for $5 when your order is $75 or more. So how this works is in December, we had the True Blue Florals Designer Series paper that was an option for you to add on for $5 if you wanted to. That did carry over. So there isn't necessarily an end date as well as just when the product is gone. So right now we have 2 products that you can choose from. So right now, Laura, I think it's just going to continue going forever. I mean, they have never told us that there's an end date. So as far as I know, it's the new thing and it's going to go on forever. So, but right now we have 2 products available, the paper and this new stamp set. And if you didn't get your paper in December, in January, you have the option to get either or with a $75 order. If you want both, you need to place 2 separate $75 orders. Okay. All right. So that's that. So here's our make and take packet. We're having a whole bunch of fun little things. We're using the Endless Love bundle, the Sweet Bugs bundle, the Hearts of Love folder, and then the Beautifully Celebrated dies. And then you're going to get some Designer Series paper in your packet, the Ladybug embellishments, the loose Valentine assortment, the bubble bath ribbon, and the old olive ribbon. You'll get some of all of that in your kits. So when you order from me, $20 will start your Stampin' Rewards. You'll get $10 back, or 10% back, for every $20 you are starting at 20, and it just goes up. So if you order 25, you get $2.50. If you order 35, you get $3.50, that kind of thing. And so then if you place a $35 order, then you get invited to the Stampappy party, which we had last night, which is super fun. $50 order gets you all of that, plus my tutorial bundle, plus you'll earn a bonus days coupon. And then if it's $75, then you can order the product of the month, which we just talked about, it being either the stamp set or the True Blue Florals paper. All right. And then Stampappy Academy, this is an ongoing thing. It's a subscription service that Dina Kelly and I do. And we do 3 lives in there every month. We have the Stampappy party. And then we have our class every month. The PDF is also in there. So there you go. $20 a month. Super cheap. And then adhesive kits. I always have these for sale if you're interested. Okay. Let's try to get out of this funk that I'm in. And we are going to start with hopefully you think it's a cute card, using the Sweet Bugs. So we're using the Sweet Bugs bundle, which is the stamps and the dies. This is one of the bundles we are featuring in the Make and Take packet for the launch party. I'm also going to be using the Beautifully Celebrated dies, and the only reason I bought these, I didn't buy them for that, and I didn't buy the stamp set. I just wanted these. I wanted these dies because I love me a good label die. And then I'm also going to incorporate a few of the sentiments out of this. This is the product of the month. This is the Fabulous Sayings set. And there are quite a few fun sayings in here with 2 different fonts, and you can kind of mix and match these sentiments around. You can like mask them off and get here, this word and that word. And anyway, that's the way I like that. So that's the main things that we're using. So let me pull out my paper pack here. Okay. Whoops, I got a few die cuts that I need to shake out of my packet here. All right, so what do I have? I know the bugs aren't available right now. I'm so sad. And neither is the other thing I'm using. And that's probably one of the reasons I'm in a funk, because I got all my stuff figured out. And then I thought, oh, I wanted to check something. I'm using the Woolly Friends bundle also. I wanted to check something about that. And I was like, it's not available. I think it's the stamp sets is the problem. And Stampin' Up! Does make those in Utah. So I believe it's the stamp set that we're waiting on. And so I'm sure they're going to get those out pretty quickly because they make them actually in Utah. So they don't have to wait for them to get shipped in or anything like that. So I don't anticipate that taking very long. Okay, so we have a thick basic white card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. I have a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of Petunia Pop, and I need to grab the folder. I knew I would forget that when I was checking on the dog. So I used the All in a Row embossing folder. Super cute. I love this. You can kind of see how we've got these little flowery patterns in there, and then the stripes and the dots and then the solid places. I just think that's really cute. So I embossed my 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of Petunia Pop with that folder. So we'll stick that on there. I've got a scrap of white. I don't know why I have this. I think I was going to put it on the inside, but then I changed my mind, so we're not doing that. And then I have this label out of the Beautifully Celebrated dies, and it is what is it, this one? I think it's the 3rd largest. Is that right? This is the 3rd largest. Yes, the 3rd largest is the size that I'm using. Then I have a scrap of white, and then out of the die set, the Sweet Bugs, I have die cut myself one of these little flowers out of Petunia Pop, and then this little flower stem out of Granny Apple Green. And just because I feel like I'm going to lose this, I'm going to go ahead and glue this together. Now, fun fact, look at that. I didn't realize that was on there, but how cool does that look? Maybe I should have just used that side. This was something I stamped with the stripes. I think it's called Stripes and Dots. And I had stamped it, and then I didn't use it. So I threw it back in my file folder with all my Granny Apple Green scraps. And when I pulled it out to die cut this, I didn't realize it had been stamped on, but that actually does look kind of cool, doesn't it? If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I had stamped it with this stamp right here out of these Stripes and Dots. It's a stamp set that you can cut apart. And then you can have 4 different stamps, or you can leave it together if you wanted to, but I cut mine apart. And so that's what I used. I don't even remember when that was. It was quite a while ago. Actually, you know what? I think I used it when I made this with my favorite color combination. Yep, I did. It would be this one here, but I did it in the Granny Apple Green, so you're welcome. Okay, so I have that, so I'm going to put that aside so that I don't lose it. And then we are going to do a little bit of stamping. We're going to stamp on this, and we're going to stamp on this scrap. So let me bring in my foam. Whoops, I don't need my paper. I need my foam mat. See, I'm telling you, there's just something wrong with me today. Things are just they're not happening the way they're supposed to be happening. All right, so I've got my memento. I have this little flower image with the little grass, and I'm just going to kind of stamp that down here at the bottom of my label. So I'm going to stamp it right in the middle, and then I'm also going to stamp it. Ugh, why does that happen? Ugh, we're going to try this. I don't have any confidence that it's going to work. Oh my word. Did you guys see that? Did you see? Wow, maybe the funk is over. Boy, if that doesn't get you out of the funk, I don't know what will. All right, and then we're going to go to the left. And there we go. Dang, I am quite impressed with myself for that. I really did not think that was going to work out. Okay, so then I've got the single flower, and I do want to add just a couple here. And we'll add one right here in the middle. There we go. Yeah, I'm shocked, honestly. I really did not think that was going to happen. All right, and then we have our little bug friend. I think this is like a beetle. I don't really know. But it's way cuter than any beetle I've ever seen. Okay. Oh, and then we have our sentiment. This says, "Hello, friend." This is out of the same set. And I'm going to stamp it up here. There we go. And then I'm going to bring, I think I'm done with my stamping, so I can put that away. And I have got some blends. And I'm going to use my light Petunia Pop to start with. And I'm just going to kind of color in the petals on these little delicate flowers. And sometimes if the little spots are too small for you to really get a nice stroke from your blend, if you just like tap it up and down in that little tiny space, that will add color really nicely for you. Some of these petals are pretty skinny. And so I don't want, I don't want to go outside the lines, even though sometimes it happens. Okay. Then I'm going to bring our little bug friend over here, and I'm going to do the bulk of the body also in this light Petunia Pop. There we go. Finish that up. Okay. And then I also have a dark fresh freesia that I'm going to do. I don't know what this part of the bug is called. To me, it looks like a scarf. So as far as I'm concerned, we just colored the scarf. And then I have a light black for the face. And I'm going to try to just do this one time without going over and over and over it, because I don't want it to be any darker than that. All right. And then I have a wink of Stella here. And I want to add some wink of Stella to the wing, because I didn't know what color to do the wing. I tried doing it like the same color, but I just did not like how it looked. And then I'm going to add some wink of Stella right here through the middle of our friend, just to add a little interest there. Okay. And then of course we have a die to cut that out, and here it is. And I don't think that I got the wink of Stella on this one. So we're going to have to do that, because I definitely want wink of Stella on this. So we'll carefully add our wink of Stella. Okay, and my wink of Stella pen is not super juicy, which I'm not mad about, because I don't want it to like blob all over. But we just have a tiny little bit of shine there on our little bug friend. And then our little bug friend is just going to kind of sit right there amongst the flowers with a dimensional. You know what I have noticed? My son's dog is here every so often, but he leaves dog hair. And I'm not a fan of dog hair. So I need to do a little bit of a deep clean around here. Okay. Oh, Lauren said she thinks it's a cricket. Lauren, it could be. I have no idea what it is. I do not know bugs. So Lauren says it's a cricket. I'm going to say I believe that. So there you go. Okay. What else are we doing here? Oh, we're going to add our little flower, but I'm going to cut off this leaf because I want to actually have the leaf a little higher up on my stem. So I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to add this flower just kind of right in here, so it's just like over my bug. So we'll add just a little bit of glue. I'm not trying to have glue squirt out all over anywhere. All right, so we will about like so, and then I am going to kind of twist the top of the stem there. It's not designed to be twisted. I mean, like the die is, whoops, the die is a straight die, but I just thought it looked kind of good if you add a little twist up there. All right, and then we're going to take this leaf that I cut off, and I'm going to add it right back, but right next to the stem. Okay. Joan, that sounds like a great idea. Joan said she's going to stay in and attempt to make some cards. I think that's a fantastic idea. Okay. So then my little die cut is going to go right here. But before I do that, I also have some of this old olive rickrack. And I realize it's not Granny Apple Green, but you know what? I think it's close enough. At least it works for me. So I'm going to add just a little strip of this rickrack right here to the edge. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like a ½ an inch from the edge. And we'll go ahead. There we go. This is my last little piece that I have of this ribbon. And like I said, my UPS, I believe, should be outside on my porch getting snowed on, or else they're bringing it because it's supposed to be delivered today. So I will get a new roll. Bonnie says, whatever the bug is, she thinks it's cute. I think it's kind of cute too. Okay, we're going to add that with dimensionals. So we're going to go with 5, 1 in each corner, and then 1 in the middle. And then if you press your fingernail into these dimensionals, you can see how it kind of lifts off the backing. Makes it super easy to just pick it right off. You don't even really have to have a fingernail. I mean, I have a little bit of a fingernail, but you don't really even have to have a fingernail to press your finger into it. It'll still work. Okay. Just trying to center this, and I just know that it's not going to be when I'm done, because sometimes my eyes just, they play tricks on me frequently. Okay. And we're going to add that. Oh, right. Bonnie says, as long as it's not a stink bug. Yeah, those, yeah. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot to do something to this. Where is my silicone mat? All of a sudden, I just realized something is wrong. I need to add some color down here. Whoops, that's not this end of the marker that I wanted to use. So I just thought I would kind of use some little, just some strokes, just like mimicking the grass. To be careful now that I don't touch my little bug's feet here. I'll just scribble underneath it. I should have done this before. But as is in true Barb fashion, we are able to make it work even though it didn't go according to our initial plan. Okay, so I'm just like making strokes here just to kind of mimic grass. I think I need to lift that up and do that again. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, now I think we still have enough glue on there. All right, so we are going to add this about like so. We're going to press down, and then I need some gems. I didn't even think about that. Where are some gems? Are there some gems in here? In my other, oh, here we go. There are some gems in here. Maybe we should just use Petunia Pop, right? Let's pull out the old take your pick tool. Is that going to be too much Petunia Pop if I do that? I'm debating. I was going to put a couple of gems like right here, and then maybe one on the outside of my label. But I'm feeling like if I put Petunia Pop gems right there, That feels like that might be like too much. Let me pull my vast collection of things out here and we'll just sort of see what else do we have that I think would look good. Somebody mentioned butterflies. That's not a terrible idea. Ooh, or ladybugs. The color's wrong. No. Ooh. No. I was thinking, do we still have black, or did those black things retire? I think they might have retired, and so I pulled them out of here. The yellow ones. Yellow. I don't know which yellow ones we're talking about. What's that? No. Ooh. I don't know if sparkle's the right thing. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try a couple of butterflies. I haven't used these in a hot minute. But they are like the perfect sizes for what I was kind of thinking. Come on, get off there. Yeah, whose idea was that? That was a good idea. That was Cheryl's. Nice job, Cheryl. I like it. And yeah, I haven't used these in a hot minute. All right, so I'm going to put those away. I'm using these on my next project, so that's why I knew where they were. Okay, so then on the inside, I need to get my embellishments out of here because they're in a box. It's taking up all the room. Okay, so then on the inside is where I was going to bring in some of those fabulous sayings. And those of you that watched me last night, you'll see I have everything masked off now so I don't screw it up. So I've got hello, friend on the outside. And then on the inside, I want to say, just because you're fabulous. So what I'm going to use is we're going to start with the just because. And I think maybe we'll go Petunia Pop and black. So I think we're going to start with Petunia Pop. So we're going to say just because in Petunia Pop. Ooh, maybe we should use Petunia Pop. This isn't Petunia Pop. What is this? This is Freesia. Hold on. Okay. I think we're going to start with the Petunia Pop and say just because. All right. Let's see if we can straight. Hopefully. I guess we'll find out once we get the rest of the words on here. Okay, we have just because. Then I have taken the stamp that says... So this one says, you're on my mind, but I just want the your, okay? So I have masked off the word on and then my mind. So all I can see is the word your. And I think we're going to go black. Yeah, that's totally crooked. I can totally see that that's crooked. Darn it. Well, you know what we say. It's a hand-stamped card. So you aren't going to get that crooked at Hallmark, right? Need to get my tape off here. Somehow it got stuck to the... There we go. Okay, so you have to take your tape off. That's the most important thing when you're masking. And I'm going to huff on it. And then I'm going to try. Now that that's crooked, does everything else have to be crooked now? I think this whole thing is going to be... This is going to be nonsense. Prepare yourselves. This is going to be a whole bunch of nonsense. Okay, just because you're... Let me throw this in the trash. Because I don't need a piece of tape with black ink all over it around me. Okay, so just because you're, and now I've got the Granny Apple Green, and I have masked, this one says, to a fabulous friend. So I have masked off to a and friend, and we're going to use fabulous. And then again, we're going to remove the tape. And we're going to stamp fabulous under here. Okay, here we go. Just because you're fabulous. Get that tape off my hand. Okay, but now I feel like I'm missing something at the bottom. But if I stamp something down here and I color it, then it's going to bleed through to the back, and I don't want that to happen. So what I might just do is I might just add a few, you know what I could do? I'm sure a lot of you still have your Stampin' Write markers. So if you have Stampin' Write markers, you can do this without it bleeding through. And I realize that they're all gone now. You can't buy them anymore, but I am pretty confident that there are many of you that still have them. So we are, can I be lucky twice? I'm pretty sure I can't. Ooh, apparently I can be. Okay, so I still have all my markers because I like markers. And so I'm going to try, not blue, Granny Apple Green. Okay, so let's just, this is a Petunia Pop marker. So I'm just trying to go right in the lines here. I think that works. And then we'll bring in the Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to kind of go like right next to these little pieces of grass. There. Done. That's pretty cute. I must say so myself. That's stinking cute. Now I have a bonus for you guys, because I actually have a few other colors of this exact same card that I did. So I have a blue one and a red one. So here's my blue one. And here's my red one. So the red one, I did the little ladybug reading a book. And then the blue one, oh, duh. I need to tie my linen thread around that. I was looking at it thinking, you know, something's not right here. And I was right. Something's not right. See, I'm just in a funk. And I told you there was going to be a lot more nonsense tonight than normal. And we've already had misstampings. And, oh, gosh, I honestly cannot believe I was able to manage to do that twice. All right, so we are going to tie our linen thread here around this ribbon. All right, pull that side in, pull that side in just a little bit. Yes, somebody's really liking the red. I did too. That was actually one that I did for a swap. And then when I was looking at cards today, I was like, oh yeah, I think I should make that for you guys. And then I thought, what if I made it in different colors though? I think that would be kind of cool. So anyways, I think you could do this with any color. And there's also a little bee in this set, which I think would be super cute too, when you could do with yellow. So there we go. Hope you guys liked that. It was fun for me. Okay, next, let me move all these stamps out of the way, since they all have ink on them, and you know what happens. Open ink pads or stamps laying around is never really a good thing. Okay, so the next project that I have, like I said, is going to be using the Woolly Friends. And of course, the stamps are not available right now, but they are going to be back, I think, in like 10 days or so. They should be back, if not sooner. I'm hoping sooner, just because, like I said, Stampin' Up! Actually makes these in Kanab, Utah. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be back quickly. All right, so the Woolly Friends also has a coordinating punch. So we're using that. We're using the Lasting Linen Background stamp. I'm using, I don't even know what this is called, whatever this is, Banner's Punch. And then I've got a 2 3/8 inch circle punch that we're going to be using also. Let me put those aside. All right, and so I got my pieces and parts here. I'm also going to be using, I have something serious now. I'm serious about this. I have something to share with you guys about this Easter paper, okay? It's a fantastic tip. Hopefully you haven't used yours yet and you haven't done what I did. Okay, so here is the beautiful Easter Joy paper. This paper is amazing. It has these foil accents all over all the pieces. So we've got the stripes. We have these little, I guess they're little plus signs. We've got the eggs. We've got the fun flowers. We've got this large piece here. That's like a scene page. And then we have this fun floral piece here. And then they all have designs on the back that are not foiled, okay? So they're not foiled on the back sides. They're just some fun kind of spring patterns and that. So, problem. This paper, as amazing as it is, it has a very slick finish to it. And a lot of times, well, every time, these paper packs that are like this, they have a little fold-over flap that has adhesive on it. This particular pack, the fold-over adhesive is on the flap, okay? You'll notice that mine does not have that because I cut that off, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I had pulled the paper out the very first time to look at it and admire it and oogle over it, and accidentally, my adhesive strip got stuck to my paper. Normally, that's not a big deal. I just carefully peel it off and all is well. No, 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 no. Not with this paper. It is not well. If you get this adhesive strip onto this paper, it will leave a mark because the adhesive will come off on this paper. Now, can you see this? I'm going to try to get it in the light just right. There is a line that starts right here. Come on, camera. Pick that up for me. I don't know as though it's picking it up. Can I zoom in? Look at that, I can. Okay, so I don't know. Come on, pick it up for me. Anyway, oh, there's a slight, you can sort of slightly see there's a line. Anyway, the line of adhesive goes all the way across. Right here, it's really bad. It goes all the way across my paper. Almost like ruined my entire sheet of paper because as I was trying to peel it off, the adhesive stuck on this shiny paper. Ooh, right, you can see it right over here on this side. It's horrible. It's just like ruined the paper. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm still going to use it and I'll like design things that can cover up my mistake. But be very, very careful with that adhesive strip on this paper, you guys. It's a nightmare. And there's one other pack that we have. That's the same thing. This paper here, where the adhesive strip is on the flap. I just cut that off. Now, I told this to some people the other day, and one gal said that she takes the flap and she tucks it inside and sticks it to itself so that there is no way that it can touch your paper. But just be mindful of that, you guys, and hopefully that does not happen to any of you because I was very mad at myself when that happened. Other than that, I love this paper so much and I can't get enough of it. Okay, so we're using it today. So here are my pieces and parts. I am using some peach pie. So I've got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece here. And whoops, that was not anywhere close to folded in half. And then I also have a 4 by 5.25 layer, same color. I've got a this is a scrap, you can tell because I cut the edge off. I've got a 4 by 5.25 for the inside. I have a little die cut banner out of Shy Shamrock, and that is the largest banner die out of the Nested Essentials. That's where I got this piece. Okay. And then I have a piece of the paper, the beautiful paper. This is 2 3/4 by 4. And then I've got a 1/2 inch strip for the inside. And then I have a little scrap piece for my sentiment. And then we're going to stamp our little sheep friend right here on this scrap paper here. So I am going to pull out my sheep pieces. We got all kinds of sheep pieces here. Okay, those are for the background. So first off, we have our sheep. I'm going to stamp it upside down because that's kind of how the orientation is on the punch. And I know there's people out there that like put all the stamps on together and then you can punch it out at one time. I just always find that never really works out perfectly for me, and I'm very anal, and so that does not work for me. So I'm going to stamp mine the way that they need to fit in for the punch. So if we bring the punch in, we can sort of see what we're working with here. So we have the sheep is upside down. The head is not upside down. It is right side up. So we're just going to stamp that right there. And then I'm going to stamp this little bow, but I'm going to stamp it on a strip because we're going to stick that in there. So let's see, how do I want to do that? So we're going to stamp it something like that. Now we can fill in our sheep, and I will give you a little clue as to how to stamp this. So you can see on the sheep here, we have 4 little like highlight marks on the sheep body. And then the filler piece also has 4 little marks. Well, the largest mark, this is like a double mark. that actually goes right in between these two marks right here. Okay, so when you're bringing it into Stamp It, you can kind of look for those two marks on the side. You can look for that large double mark on your body, your filler piece. And you know what? I did not do my trick that I always do, so hold on, because I just feel like there's some fuzz on this. Always spank it to get it dry. All right, so I am going to just pick up any bits of dust that might be on my stamp. Okay, so now I'm going to look through it, and I can see that my double squiggle is right here. So I'm going to come down, and then I can just barely wiggle this around and get it lined up dang near perfectly if I could see what I was doing. There we go. That should be it. Ta-da! So stinking cute. And so easy once you figure that out. Okay. Then I have some blends. I have a dark balmy blue that I am just going to add a little highlight to the ear. And then this little tuft of fur right up there on the top of the head. And then, of course, this sweet little nose. I'm just going to kind of tap my marker a few times in the nose area. And then, oh, I need to do the filler piece for the bow. So we can do that. I'm going to do that with, oh no, wait a second. I'm not doing it with pink. I'm doing it with pretty or peach pie. I remember that I changed my mind. There we go. Laura, it's just regular Scotch tape that I buy at Walmart. And I do actually buy Scotch brand. I will show you the box. This is what I use. It's the only tape I use. Pardon me, I'm having a hot flash. I have tried other like cheap brands of tape for doing different things around my stamp room, but I don't like it. It doesn't tear nicely. It leaves residue. So many things. Scotch Magic tape. It's been around for 100 years. To me, it's the best. Okay, and I buy it in the 6-pack. I use a lot of tape. Okay, now we're going to punch. So because we placed our things in the specific way, everything should punch out really easily for us, which makes me super happy. Come on, you. There we go. And then our sheep's body. I don't know what is Amish tape. Somebody said no Amish tape for me, and I don't know what that means. Is it like an East Coast thing? There we go. Okay, so we have our sheep ready to go. While I have my paper out, I am going to stamp my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it in pretty in pink. Let's see. Deborah says it's hard to stamp directly on that paper. Like this paper? Is this what you're talking about, Deborah? If I was going to stamp on this paper, this particular side, I would absolutely use StazOn. I do not believe with this slick finish that you're going to be able to use regular ink on that. Now, the back side, you should be able to stamp on it no problem because it just feels like regular paper. Hopefully that answers your question. My sentiment. Where is my sentiment? Right here. My sentiment says, "You are fabulous." Kelly said her tape that didn't work was Amish. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I wonder if they have like some special tape in Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't know. But if Kelly said it, it's true. All right, so the banner punch. I'm going to push this, so my sentiment is going to be mostly over to that edge. I'm going to leave the, I guess, left section mostly open. There we go. I'm going to have to definitely ask Kelly about the Amish tape because I don't know what that means. But I hope she's using this because this is the tape you need. Okay. So we have that stuff stamped. We've got that stuff cut out. I'm going to stamp my sentiments on this layer. I guess I only have one sentiment. I'm pulling in, again, the fabulous sayings. And I'm pulling in the happy birthday sentiment out of there. So let me add my designer series paper to the bottom here. Let's see, which way is upside down? I feel like I feel like this is right side up. Who knows? I could be totally wrong. But I feel it in my bones that this is the proper way to do this. Okay, and then I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment in some Shy Shamrock. Okay, and I think I'm just going to stamp it right down here at the bottom. No, I changed my mind. Up at the top. I can change my mind, right? There it is. Okay. Now we just need to do some assembly here. Oh no, I have to stamp this piece first. So the linen stamp, what did I do with it? It is here somewhere. Hello? It was in my bucket. It's huge. How does it... Oh, here it is. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that could disappear. It's huge. All right, so I'm going to ink this up. This is on my giant block. And I am going to use my peach pie ink, and I'm just going to tap it all over my stamp multiple times, because sometimes you'll catch an edge, but if you just keep adding a little bit more ink, then typically that edge will go away. And this particular stamp doesn't really show mistakes as much as some other stamps might, so it's pretty forgiving. All right, so then we're just going to press that down, and we're going to like rub so that we can transfer all the ink from the stamp onto our paper. And then we have this fun, it's a very subtle background. Okay, very subtle, but it does add something. Okay, I'm going to close that so I don't have that be a problem, because here's what the card's going to look like. So this is the side without the linen. Like if I flipped it over and I didn't use the linen, this is what that would look like. We're going to cut this in half. You can use scissors or a paper cutter, whatever. It doesn't make any difference because we're going to hide the cut. So we're just trying to extend it out so it's a little bit longer. And then this piece is going to go over that. We need a circle, a 2 3/8 inch circle. Oh goodness, that was almost bad. And then the circle is going to go here, and then our little sheep friend is going to go right on here like this. So that would be plain, which I don't really love. So let me now flip it over, and we will do it not plain. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. And so I'm putting this on, it's maybe like between 1/2 and 3/4 from the edge, give or take. And then this little piece is going to be like about 1/2 inch or so from the bottom, maybe not even quite that much. And then just try to line it up with that piece there. Oh gosh, don't do that. Line it up and then don't make it crooked. More nonsense. Every single day it's nonsense around here. And this paper kind of gets curly. I don't know if it's because of that coating that just sort of makes it curl up. I don't know. I'm assuming so. But so I just kind of rub it between my fingers, and then it kind of flattens out for me. So we're going to add this to over our label. So that way you can't even tell that we cut it in half. It looks like we have this nice long banner, which I love doing that stuff. Okay. We have our little piece here. We do need to do a little bit of stamping. There's a little grass piece in the set here. And so we're going to add some Shy Shamrock grass to the bottom of our circle. So I'm just going to like do one. Oops. I feel like I caught an edge there. There, nothing fancy, just some green grass. Okay, and then we have this little butterfly with a little butterfly trail in this set. And we are going to have our little butterfly trail just kind of come in on the side here like that, because why wouldn't you put that on there? It is so cute. All right, and then we're going to add our sheep. So we're going to start with just the body. And this isn't quite centered, as you can probably tell. I'm having it be just a little bit off center. Is that straight though? I think so. And then my little sheep friend, I am going to put a mini dimensional back there. And then the head's just going to be a little bit tilted. And then where's my bow? Here's my little bow. So I'm going to add a little tiny bit of glue. Whoa, that was too much. Where is my silicone? Well, I'm just going to put it on my finger. If you get too much glue on something, just tap it off. Don't run the risk of it squirting out all over. Just get rid of it. Okay. Now we can add our little circle, and I think I'm going to do that with some dimensionals. So we'll go 3, press our fingernails, and look at that. They just pop right off. All right, so then this is going to go about like so. And then my sentiment's just going to fit right underneath there. So I'm going to add a little glue to the end that's going to be tucked under. And then I've got, looks like one more mini dimensional on there. And I'm going to do that so I can like pop it up. There we go. And then we're going to add this to the card. And love that linen background. It just adds a little something. It's very subtle. It's almost like that subtle embossing folder we used to have that would just emboss just the tiniest little something, but yet it was just enough to make things look fantastic. Okay. And we need some white twine. And I'm going to tie a little bow. This is out of our Essentials Baker's Twine pack that has all the fun colors. I hate it when my bows twist. That just really irritates me. So normally what I do is if you like pull the loop in, then you can pull it back out, and usually it won't be twisted anymore. Okay. I need some scissors. Cut that off. And now we need, of course, a rolled up mini glue dot. Because what else are we going to do to attach a tiny little, what is this? Baker's twine. Baker's twine bow. Okay. And then I'm just going to sort of stick that right here on the side, because that's cute. And then for the final trick, we have the 2024-2026, what's the actual name? In Color Flat Pearls. And we are going to add a few. And I just didn't know, this is where I was struggling. I think we're going to go with the Shy Shamrock, I think. Where's one? Here's one. If we just added one here, or maybe we should add it here. I'm debating, I'm thinking about it, and my final answer is yes. And I think what I'm going to do over here is I think I'm going to do like straight up the edge with 2 of them. Just like this. And then one right there. Get those out of the way. Cute! And then we will add our happy birthday sentiment. Oh, it's like there's a stamp under there. Please don't let it be black. That would have made me sad. Oh, whoops. That would have also made me sad if I'd have put that in upside down. Okay. There we go. We have our cute little woolly friend. And here is one with the pink bow. So there's the pink bow. There is the peach pie bow. Maybe I should have gone pink. I don't know. I think they're both really cute. Yay! Deborah said her funk is gone since we were stamping tonight. We're partying tonight, having a grand old time. All right, let me bring in those other cards. So we, of course, did the, I feel like when I zoomed in or out that it like went way out too far. So note to self, don't do that again. So here's our bug cards and then our cute little sheep cards. And I apologize that these stamp sets aren't available right now, but they will be back in stock, promises. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching me tonight. I appreciate your support. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would also appreciate that very much. And remember that bingo is tomorrow night if you're in the lunch party group. And if you've paid to get in the launch party group and you haven't joined the Facebook group, please get a hold of one of us for the link and we can send it to you and we can get you in the group. So I'll see some of you guys tomorrow night. And until then, toodaloo. I think my funk is gone, you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm going to have a good night now. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye, everybody.